What's up, guys? Ryan here, and I'm back with another Oh the Horror. It's been a while, hasn't it? I had a couple of movies that I wanted to do, a couple that are coming down the pipe, if you will. I have some other stuff I needed to do first for those, and one of them didn't come in yet to watch, so those are coming, but this was one that I actually picked it up a while ago, and I haven't had a chance to watch it until this weekend passed. I had a couple of hours, and I gave it a watch. And I wanted to talk about it for obvious reasons when you see the title. Of course, you've seen the title above me. And that is Frankenstein. And no, I don't mean, of course, the original film starring Boris Karloff. There's been a lot of movies that are named Frankenstein, guys, so this is just one of many. And this one came out, geez, when did it come out here? 2005, I think. Directed by Marcus Nispel. This was his second film, I think, after Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It says executive producer Martin Scorsese. I'd say that's the name only. I'm sure he just put in the money to the project or something like that. And it says written by John Shiban. I guess I'll get into that right now. If you don't know who John Shiban is, I know because I'm a big X-Files fan. He was a writer, I believe a producer too, on X-Files for, you know, its whole run. Some of his best episodes, one would be like Memento Mori. And he's written for all kinds of other TV shows. He's a big TV guy. And the reason that he's involved in this is this was, I don't know if it came out as a TV movie, but it was meant to be a TV movie. I don't know if maybe it didn't. It might have aired on television. I don't know. But they have a DVD of it out now, I guess, since Marcus Nispel kind of got more popular after Texas Chainsaw Massacre doing Friday the 13th and stuff like that. I don't know. But the film also stars Parker Posey, who plays one of the detectives in the film. It has Adam Goldberg as his character Sloan, is the other detective. Michael Madsen's in it as another detective named Jonathan Harker. I'll get into that in a moment, I guess. And it stars as well Vincent Perez as the monster. And this isn't... this is sort of a contemporary... They call it a contemporary version of Frankenstein, and it's not really, although it is set, of course, you know, in the 2000s in New Orleans. Although nowhere on this DVD or on the case or on the back in the credits, nowhere will you see the name. But this is a pretty faithful adaptation of a novel by Dean Koontz, who, I might have mentioned this book before, but it's a series of books that he has called Dean Koontz's Frankenstein. This is the first one, called Prodigal Son. There have been 4, I believe. The first 3 are a trilogy. Then he's doing another trilogy now. I guess he was involved with the film. I think he even wrote it. I don't, like it says, written by John Shiban. Maybe he did some changes to it, but I guess through some creative differences, he came off the project and didn't want his name on it, I guess. There's a documentary on here, but I never watched it, like a 30-minute featurette, but I doubt they mention anything about it, because like I said, he's not on it anywhere. But I don't know exactly why he wouldn't have wanted to be involved with the project, because after watching it, it's pretty faithful to the book. There are a few slight changes, and maybe those were the reasons he didn't like it, but getting into the story, the idea is that the whole Frankenstein story that Mary Shelley wrote, you know, all those years ago, 200 years ago or whatever, isn't a story at all. It's actual fact. It's a retelling of an actual story about a man named Victor Frankenstein who created a man using the dead bodies of killers and all this stuff. And this is, of course, like I said, in the 2000s. And the monster that he created has lived a life under the name Deucalion. He became a sideshow freak for a while, a magician, and then the story, you know, has him starting off, I think it's in China or something, and he's there. I don't know what he's doing in China. This movie is sort of confusing. The movie starts off with him, I think he's on this like huge wrecked boat in China, and for some reason there's this little Chinese man who's feeding him and stuff like that. I don't know if he's nursing himself from some kind of wound or something. He's there though, and this man comes to kill him, and he kills the guy, and then he goes to the States to find someone. I don't know exactly what the catalyst of all this is. And when he's there, he finds out that his maker, Victor, Frankenstein, who now calls himself Victor Helios, is still alive somehow after all these years, and he's sort of taking up, he's going to kill his maker kind of thing in the movie. And then, as a side story to this, you have these two cops, like I said, Sloane and O'Connor, and they're on a case of this murderer who's killed these two women, and then suddenly this security guard. And what they find out during the autopsy of the security guard is that his physiology is abnormal. He has like 2 hearts, extra organs, some of which they don't even know what they are. He has strong bone density and all that stuff. So the case starts to become not only, we got a murderer on the loose, but there's this really abnormal human being. And of course, then we find out that Victor Frankenstein is still doing what he was doing all those years ago. He's still creating people, and he has people, possibly all over New Orleans. Who knows how many he's made at this point? So they're hunting this, perfect human being who's this killer, and at the same time, you've got this side story of the Deucalions there. The name Deucalion, I should mention too. The name is from, I think, Greek mythology. He's the son of Prometheus. The original Frankenstein novel was also sort of subtitled The Modern Prometheus. Prometheus was one of the Titans in Greek mythology, and he created his own son, Deucalion. I think he made him out of dirt or something like that in the story, but that's where it comes from, kind of thing. He's not of God's children or anything like that. He was made by man, so he called himself Deucalion. And again, as to how we get this whole thing at the start with the boat, I don't know really what that's about. Also, for some reason, Deucalion's he lives on the street. I don't know if he's trying to, I don't know the reasoning for it, but he's sort of a different character. So that might have been one of the reasons Kuntz wanted off the project, because it was sort of weird. At least I never thought of it that way when I read the book. Anyway, and I'll get into that in a second here. But yeah, the film, it's directed by Marcus Nispel, and I don't know why he felt the need to do this, but the entire film is just filthy. It's just dirty. It's like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Everything's disgusting. It's like he wanted to use the same sets or something. Everything is just, I don't know why, and I don't know if it's his idea of, making you uncomfortable or something like that, or what it is, but I just find the whole movie everything looks gross. And of course, like I said, Deucalion is, he looks like a bum off the street, except that he's really big. But for the most part, it is faithful to the book. It follows that story that I just explained to you is basically the story of the book. Except in the book, Deucalion has a very strong role in it. In this, I think the idea here is that they meant for this to be, like I said, it was supposed to be for TV. I don't know if it went to TV or not, but they must have meant they wanted to make more of these. So the story is sort of incomplete, and that maybe they intended to extend it down the line, because Deucalion's in it, but he's sort of like the support character that comes in and out enigmatically, and leads the detectives along, helping them on their investigation. They have all these scenes with Victor, I guess, which is supposed to be explaining what he's doing, and his current wife, Erica, that goes nowhere as well, because, it goes somewhere in the books, but in this, they kind of have it there, and then, it goes nowhere, except maybe to show you how he does what he does, maybe. For the most part, though, it's its own story from start to finish. You could watch this and get a story out of it, but I think some of the stuff might confuse you watching it, because you'd have no idea where some of it comes from or where some of it's going. Like I said, they've changed Deucalion, I think, quite a bit in this. In the book, he's this, he's been around for 200 years, and he lived in a sideshow for a while. You're also supposed to know this face is heavily scarred because Victor Frankenstein put something in his head, sort of a failsafe, if he ever went rogue, that he could kill him with, and he detonated it, and for some reason Deucalion's still alive, so he's heavily scarred on his face. He's heavily scarred all over, of course, because he's stitched together. And what happened was he ended up living with these monks, because he was trying to find some place to fit in, I guess. And during that time, they tattooed him heavily in the book. He's covered in tattoos to sort of cover up his scars, which is absent in this. And like I said, in the books, he's this monk, and he's very knowledgeable. The idea in the book is, it's really cool. This is why I like the book so much, is that because he was born of lightning, because the lightning strike sort of gave him life, he has this he has these powers almost, he can make small objects disappear and reappear. He can actually make himself sort of teleport, and it's through some use of electricity. He has for some reason he has an understanding of like quantum theory in a way, and he thinks it's all because the lightning strike actually gave him some form of a soul. So also he's you know, he's, I don't know how to put it, but he in the original Frankenstein story, of course, he kills Victor Frankenstein's wife Elizabeth, and he's still sort of remorseful for that act in these. It's like that happened, so he's sort of like trying to straighten his life out, I guess, in a way. But at the same time, he still thinks that he needs to kill Victor Frankenstein because he knows that, or Victor Helios, that he knows that he's continuing to do his work and he has to stop him because he's trying to like basically make his own race of people and wipe out the human race. And so, you know, he's just such a much more interesting and intricate character in this. And this, like, they have him do the thing where he can teleport, but it's this really weird scene where he does it, and again, it goes nowhere. You know, it's there, it happens, and he shows that he can do it, and it doesn't really explain any of it. I don't know. I think the movie just suffers from not enough explanation, not enough time. It's also just really bland. Parker Posey's a great actress. Michael Madsen's, I mentioned the cast. Michael Madsen's in it. He does an alright job. Adam Goldberg's pretty good in it. For some reason, they changed his character's name as well, and I don't know why. In the book, his name is Michael. In the movie, his name is Sloan. I don't know why. I don't think they changed anybody else's names. But, yeah, it just, I don't know, the movie's just benign. It was sort of a chore to watch. It's just nothing special about it. Heavily edited. I guess that's sort of Nispel's style. I don't know. I personally didn't really care for the movie, so I can't really recommend this. But like I said, it is pretty faithful to this. So if you're into this and you didn't know that there was a movie because they didn't put Dean Koontz on it, you could go check this out. I personally wouldn't bother. This is a much better version. And apparently they're still trying to make a movie of this. I guess like an actual theatrical release kind of thing, which if they follow it properly, I would watch that movie. I mean, I watched this movie, but I definitely can't recommend this one, guys. But I wanted to talk about it because I think it's interesting how, you know, he basically took his name completely off the project and put this out in 2005 or so. But I think that's all I have to say on it. You know, nothing really to write home about, but that is Frankenstein, 2005, directed by Marcus Nispel. So that's everything for this edition of Oh the Horror. Like I said, I got a couple more coming down the pipe. Hopefully one of them comes into the mail soon so I can watch it, and another one that I have to do a little bit more work on. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you hopefully next week. So take care. Bye.